I am so happy with how this looks for the Rangers. We have a pitcher, Jack Leiter, and he is a dude.
And while I do think his hitting is worse than Derek Jeter, it's not that far off.
You're not mentioning 2006. You can mention the other people, not 2006.
Oh, just because I bought the best soap doesn't mean your room's going to be clean. It just leaves it to where I don't believe that the Canadians had a shot.
I really don't like the Clippers just kind of sending it in when they're like,
Hi, this is Kelly Forbes with the Dallas Stars, and you're listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
what's up, y'all? Welcome to our NBA Opinions of the Week, but also Gaming Talk. I'm Kevin, and I'm joined by the man I really haven't played in 2K, Austin.
I think we played one time a long time ago, right?
Yeah, it was a few years ago, and I did not play well. You won. I'm just not a huge fan of 2K.
Yeah, last year 2K23, I was definitely low on it, but I'm actually excited for this year. I know you're not, but I'm pretty excited for this year. It looks good.
Like, what about it looks good?
Just the way they're formatting the game looks much better than it did last year. Last year, there felt like there was a lot of, if you made a 6'9" power forward, small forward, shooting guard, point guard, 6'9", you could get quick drops a lot easier than people who were 6'8". So while still having pretty good stats. So in quick drops was a dunk package that was extremely, extremely cheesy. So they take away some of those cheesy stuff. Now, obviously, like I said before, 2K is a big proponent of making stuff bad and then fixing it and saying they did something. But at the same time, I do think this year could be very, very, very good.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but to me, 2K's. I agree with what you're saying. They'll say they fix something. I just think it's because they don't have a lot of competition in gaming for basketball.
I would say almost every sports game has no competition at all.
That's true. That's a good point. And to me, 2K is the one. Madden's probably the most cheesy, but 2K is just like cheesy, and at the end, you can just get amazing cards for nothing.
Yeah, I don't really play my team as much, and that's really with all these games except for MLB The Show. But in 2K, I'm very excited for my player. I think, or my career, because I believe the my player system, the builder, looks a lot better. They're adding a lot of new badges. It just seems a lot more balanced, a lot more fair, to where I can make a build and I don't have to necessarily worry about there being a god build that can do everything. I actually have to decide: do I want to be good at this or this or this or this, instead of automatically getting a player that is just extremely, extremely OP.
Okay. I didn't know you were much. I played my player, but I wasn't good. I would do. Do you go to the park? Do they?
Yeah, Park or Pro-Am.
Okay, Pro-Am. Okay. Do you like play the actual career or no?
Somewhat, but not consistently. It depends. I do enough to level up my player for Park or Pro-Am or Rec with friends, because I play that with friends. But 2K does struggle at like franchise. Franchise has always been my favorite. If we're going to talk about overarching between all the games, franchise is always my favorite, and I do feel like 2K can lack that sometimes. I think they get too caught in trying to add new features that they forget to actually make it good. But I do think that my career this year will be much better than it has been the last 3 years.
My big thing with my career is they try to make it a cinematic masterpiece, and I'm like, I don't really care. Like, I just want to play as a player. And it seems like they add characters, and I'm like, I don't want to watch this while I'm trying. Just let me go play my games. Because they tried to do that with Madden, but thankfully I could skip out of it. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but 2K is definitely a game that can really be a put off to some people, especially if you're not. I don't think basketball is your favorite sport, right?
Each one of them, I love watching it, and I'm not too technical with it though, so I don't know as much yet. But
Yeah,
I love the Mavs and all that.
yeah, but I'm talking about like the sport separate from the team because we all have the
Oh, okay.
teams that we love, but you're not as developed, like you said, into uh, basketball like you are with MLB The Show, which is why you like playing MLB The Show more. I feel like because you are more technically you have the knowledge to kind of how to put a team together. You know when to pitch certain pitches. Instead, in basketball, like or in 2K, a lot of people struggle against me. Not necessarily because they're bad or because they can't time shots, but because they don't know how to call a play or to call a defense or to ISO or to call a screen or when to call a screen or when to throw a lob, when not to throw a lob or defensive settings. So I feel like it can really be a put off to people who haven't played 2K like I have since 2K11.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, and the thing with the show is I feel like I learned that through playing the show, but with 2K I don't learn anything about basketball, which is why I love playing the Ultimate Team and building teams because I feel like I can learn. But 2K to me I don't feel like I can learn.
Yeah. It I don't think you could go into any of the sports games though knowing nothing and get anything out of it that is worthwhile, if you know what I mean. Because even for the show, I think it's really hard if you don't know anything about the sport. It would be very difficult to go into it and understand, hey, don't throw a changeup first pitch high because I'm going to hit that 900 feet. There's places where you don't put pitches. There's places when you do a shift or don't do a shift, even in the smaller shifts that you can do. There's time when you bring in a lefty pitcher versus a righty pitcher. It's not just random. And yes, I do agree that you can learn that stuff through playing the game, but I do think no matter what, it would have to take a lot of time if you knew nothing about the sport heading in.
Yeah, that's fair. So yeah, you have to have some general knowledge, but then get more technical. That makes sense. Yeah, 2K to me is just not very fun to watch or fun to play because it just seems like you are just trying to game the system at the end. But I just wish it was something where I could grind and get a lot of players before just new players come out for free.
Yeah, but those are really those like insane cards are at the end of the year, but it does make it not fun at the end.
Yeah,
I don't like playing at the end because you have a crazy Wembanyama card that has 99 everything and Curry's handles, and if you do not have that card, it's a major problem.
yeah, and I agree with franchise. Franchise really isn't fun. Like it's just annoying.
I think a big reason too, the difference between, and this is the difference between basketball and baseball, is that if I have the best card in the game, Kevin, that doesn't mean I'm going to beat you in the show.
Yeah,
But if I have the best card in the game in 2K, I'm probably going to beat you. No matter if it's an insane card that has 99 overall stats or at the beginning of the year, it's just a 95 best stats LeBron or Giannis. I'm probably going to beat you either way because basketball is a sport where that one player can make a massive difference. If I have Otani in the show, it doesn't mean I'm going to win because I still have 8 other positions on the field that I have to fill and have to be fast enough to or play good enough defense, or I'm going to allow a lot of extra plays or errors. And then I have to have good pitching afterwards. Because if I just have that 99 monthly reward Otani, I can't win every game because of him. But if I had the version of an Otani where it's basically 95 offense, 95 defense in 2K, like I said, LeBron, a Giannis that's still athletic and can do everything on the court, I'm probably just going to win because of how much that player impacts the game.
yeah, I agree. That's fair. And Well, yeah, and that's between the two sports. I wish 2K could make it a little bit different or make it easier because I feel if you want to be good, you really have to change the settings on everything.
Oh, I do as well. I definitely agree with that. That's one of the that is a drawback, but because again I've been doing it since 2K11 and I know my perfect settings in my head, it takes me 15 seconds at the beginning of the game to pause and put in all my settings, and then I'm good. But I do understand what you're saying. I The only reason why I know those settings is because I've been playing it for over a decade. Like I had to go through the struggle, like you're saying, against AIs or even against users or a whole nother team online that I'm getting destroyed because 2K sets up the defense wrong, or they when I set a screen they always or when they set a screen they always switch when I don't want to switch. Yada yada yada.
Yeah, and to me, I just don't want to go through that process or pay the money to like figure out that process. Because that's the main reason I get into the games. I want to do my team. I don't really care about my career. Franchise modes are fun, but I just sim a lot of stuff, and I simmed one time with 2K and I had the Mavs winning easily. So, but yeah, that's why I'm not a huge 2K is probably one of my least favorite. Yeah, 2K is probably one of my least favorite games to play.
Yeah, I get that. It's just that, but even if they changed everything, you would still probably have to go into your settings because that's just what basketball is. Like I've been saying, it's just a sport. Like if you talk about MLB The Show, you can change if you contact hit or power hit or normal hit
Yeah.
immediately. Like you can do it. There's different buttons for that. But in 2K, that's the being a power offense or being a power or contact, being safe on offense is a setting. You have to put that in for your team to do because every player, even your AIs, have to do it. But in the show, you're one person at each time.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. That's a good point. Never really thought about it that way. Yeah. Huh. Well, yeah, I think that's a good way to end it. And I'll let you take it over.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening. If there's any other sports video games you'd like us to review or talk about, let us know.